Now, I could be overreacting because it was just one game. But the Boston Celtics losing to the Miami Heat in Boston without Jimmy Butler just brought up more thoughts that I've been having for years now about the Celtics. And it's that the Boston Celtics continuously underachieve, even though they're set up to be champions, basically. And I feel like they should have been champions within the last 4 years. Last year, they lose to Miami in the conference finals. They shouldn't have lost to Miami in the conference finals. Now, don't get me wrong, the power of friendship is very powerful, but let's be realistic. Boston is a better team than Miami on paper by far, last year and this year. And in this instance, this year, they should have swept Miami. There's no reason Miami should have got a game, let alone in Boston, without Jimmy Butler. And then 2 years ago, they lose to Golden State. Now, Steph Curry is amazing. Klay Thompson is amazing. Golden State is a dynasty, one of the greatest teams in NBA history. But as we see right now, they were on the decline. Klay Thompson is a shell of himself. He was a shell of himself 2 years ago. Steph Curry is still amazing, but he only got but so much more time to be amazing because he's getting older. He's not getting younger. He's not at the beginning of his career. He's at the end of it. Draymond Green, 2 years ago it wasn't as bad, but he's continuously just getting into trouble and fighting and all this stuff. He's more worried about being an analyst at this point and a podcaster. Steve Kerr, we're starting to see that maybe Steve Kerr might not be as elite of a coach as we think he is. Maybe he just had an elite team. That's a conversation for a different video, because as soon as the team wasn't as good, his schemes didn't seem to work as well. Whereas, like, with the Spurs, even though the Spurs are very bad, but the Spurs are able to overcome that a lot of times, even when they didn't have the best players. Like when Timmy and Ginobili and all them got older, they still were able to succeed on a consistent level until those guys left. Whereas in Golden State, they can't even make the playoffs now, even though they did just win a championship 2 years ago. But the point I'm trying to make is Boston has been fitted for the past 4 years to be a championship team, and they consistently underachieve, losing to Miami twice in the playoffs, losing to Golden State in the finals, an old, beaten down Golden State team. And now this year, you lose to Miami. It was just one game. They can still win the series, but it's not a good look. You have Drew Holiday. You got Porzingis. You got Jaylen Brown, no left. You got Jason Tatum. You got Derek White, who has emerged as a very, very good basketball player. Derek White has always been a good player, but he's superseded that as of late, at least this season. And you guys are struggling against a Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat team. So what are you going to do when you play the Knicks, if you get to them? What are you going to do when you play Indiana or Milwaukee, if you get to them? What do you do if you somehow get to the finals and you're playing Denver or Minnesota? Are you just going to lose again? When this is the best Boston team that you've had with this ensemble, and those other teams were great as well, and you're still underachieving? Realistically speaking, the Boston Celtics should win the championship this year. I said that last year. I said that 2 years ago. And I just feel like they're going to prove me wrong again. And don't get me wrong, Jokic is amazing. Denver, you're not just going to run through Denver, but I feel like Boston is best suited to beat Denver, and they might not even get to play them. But, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I love you guys. Peace out.